104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
All right, don't forget, 8:20 this morning, your shot at $10,000. It's the summer of 2020 free.
Your chance to visit Galveston and get yourself a gift card for gas to get yourself down there, and then your name goes in the box for the $10,000. We do it 8:20, 1:20, and 5:20 every single weekday. The summer of 2020 free. Time for Try It Tuesday, friends.
Yeah, we're gonna
Special guest, we have a master chef in the studio.
Uh-oh.
It's
guys?
Chef Kolby Kash,
I'm
Kolby
so glad
Kash on Insta.
Morning.
How many
Hi,
followers?
Kolby.
How many followers do you have now on Instagram?
On Instagram, I think we're at
400,
like
350?
380, and then TikTok is like
380,000?
630,000.
And you just started doing this for fun.
I started doing it for fun during the pandemic,
Wow.
but I always have cooked. It's just I kind of enhanced it during the
So
pandemic.
you went from what profession to being a chef?
I was working in technology. I was doing software. I forget the name of it now, but I was working in software.
My, how fast we forget, Kolby.
I tried to
Kolby
forget.
can be found on Master Chef, by the way. He won was it the last challenge? Was the last episode that aired, the cake
Yes,
challenge? Or?
we won.
Okay.
I won the last episode. It's the cake challenge where we have to replicate these cakes. It's like the challenge to win.
What
if I
cake
do say
did you
so
make?
Myself. I did an apple stack cake.
Oh my God, that sounds
And it was, I mean, I tasted the replica because I had to make we had to replicate it, but it was good.
Now, could you break it down? Like, once you take a bite, you like spit it out and then taste it again? Or do you-
No.
you got to basically reverse engineer this.
Exactly. So they presented like, I want to say 14 cakes, and the person who won the week previously got to assign who made what cake. So if she didn't like you or if she wanted you off,
something really hard.
she would give you a hard one. And so she said she was targeting the South and the Midwest because we had the most
And you guys are the
people
South.
still in, and I was in the South. And
Kolby, I have a question
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
that. It's a question I've had for every single cooking reality show I've ever watched on any format. When you are cooking and they're showing like the action shots, and then they go to you at the camera talking about the action shot, like take me through how long that takes. How does that happen? Because you did the whole thing. Do they make you rewatch it and say, okay, you're going to talk about every single detail of your, it must take forever. How do they do that where you're talking about the action shot?
we actually do confessionals like every day is what I call them, because I used to watch Real World.
Yes.
I call them confessionals, but they call them interviews. And so we would do those every day. I want to say we did sometimes we would do it before. That's why people sounded so enthusiastic about it. And then afterward we would do it too. And then we kind of, we felt a little
But you
defeated
have to
sometimes, or
act like
just-
you don't know the outcome, right? Because they're running this at the same time before the outcome.
Right.
Right.
So
they're like, oh my God, I need the fondant.
One more
again.
question: do they run any of the video back in front of you so you can recall it, and or do the producers just tell you, all right, this is what happened? What were you thinking then?
The producers just ask us questions. I think they've been doing it so long, they know how to ask you the question to get you to say
How to pull it out of you.
to say what they need you to say. And so they do a really good job of that, and they're so friendly. They're like, we think they're our friends until we see the edit.
Twist your
I'm
words.
like, why did I say it like
What about the
that?
timing? What about the timing? Like every show I watch, like I was watching 12 Hours on Saturday when I wasn't feeling well, of Pit Masters, and they're barbecuing, and they're like, okay, 1 minute, 40 seconds, and then they show everyone get to the plate. Is that true? Like, do they do that? Like, if it's not on that table, in 10
Absolutely,
seconds.
you will go like it will be. You can't put it on the plate after the time. And
wow.
So they actually follow that timer.
we have to. And this season they didn't say it, which is so confusing. I thought it was going to be a big part of the season, but they only gave us 2 minutes to plate every single time.
What?
That's
2
it.
minutes every time, and I think that's because they didn't want us sitting around like if we played it and finished plating before the time was up, it's just not as exciting.
That's true.
But they only gave us 2 minutes, and I thought they were going to make a big rule about it at the beginning of the season, but they absolutely did not.
Have you made any friends doing this?
Oh, absolutely. I think the best part about the whole entire show was the people that I met. Everybody, being around people that are so like-minded in a reality TV show. Someone called it trauma bonding. So we were around each other for like a couple of months.
Word for it.
And it's just, I wouldn't say it was like traumatic, but it was very stressful. You don't want to embarrass yourself on national TV. And you're around Gordon Ramsay. You try not to be intimidated. And after a while, you kind of loosen up, and then you make just the most amazing friends.
Oh, that's good.
How about him? Does
I
he-
was not expecting you to say it like that.
What does he smell like?
Conrad.
What does Gordon Ramsay smell like? Does he have like cigarettes?
You
Does he
smell him
like,
before you see him. He smells so good. He
he's got
smells
the
like
cologne?
it's like a known thing. Him and Rihanna, they like smell amazing.
Really?
Actually, that is true.
And
We
they
met
told
Rihanna.
us
She's
what he
amazing.
wore, what his cologne was, and I just cannot remember what it was. I think it was like a million. That
Let me look it
I
up.
thought it'd be like a full pot of
Million.
cologne while you're in a restaurant. When you're
Yeah, I
a
don't want to
chef.
be overpowering. I tell you, the
he
worst
says he doesn't use much. He just like a dab.
The worst dining experience I've ever had was like some guy coming to the table and he had like so much Axe body spray. I'm
the
like,
waiter.
I
not
can't even
Axe.
taste my food. Yeah, I know, not Axe.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Chef Kolby Kash. You can find him on Instagram under Chef Kolby Kash, KolbyKash. He's on Master Chef right now, and he has visited our studio before, where he had to be a judge for the Food of the Roula and Ryan
He
show.
picked Ryan's dish as the best. I got screwed because I had tater tots on mine, and
Your
It
tater
just
tots
don't reheat.
suck.
Microwave tater tots
A
will
lot of
carry
people
over.
asked me about it after I left. They're like, "Well, how was it really?" I was like, "Honestly, it was good except for the tater
if
tot."
it was air fryer,
They're real soggy.
but they're real. It's good, but it's fresh. It's
Right.
good. But
So I cooked something for you last night.
Okay.
It's just a salsa, and the show is saying that I sing is best ever. I got proof positive. Go to at Radio Ryan Chase on Instagram. I can prove
Best ever.
I can prove that the show is lying right now. I said I made the greatest homemade salsa that I have ever done. Not the greatest ever.
But you used the word ever. Didn't he use the word ever?
yeah.
Greatest I've ever done.
ever.
So when I did it, it's hatch season.
Okay.
Do you like hatch
Yeah,
peppers?
I love hatches. You know,
Okay,
HEB
so I just
don't
wanna
let us
make a-
not like it.
I know. HEB will not let us not like
HEB is going to promote hatch all year long.
Basically,
You want the
I
hatch
Even
fields?
when it's not season, they're like, season's coming up.
cooked up a bunch of hatch peppers.
season.
I blended them. Put some avocado in there, a little bit of cream and some seasoning.
Oh, it's like an avocado salsa crema type of thing.
Unfortunately, I spilled half.
Did
of
you
in the
bring it with
kitchen.
chips?
Oh my God.
Yeah, he
We
made,
have chips, yes.
He made Ahmad go get some chips.
Thank you, Ahmad.
Oh, and while y'all
Oh,
do
it
that
looks
real
good
quick,
color.
It's a little spicy.
there's a really funny thing on Insta about do you want 7 tortillas right now to eat? And you'd be like, no.
Too
What if I
spicy?
chopped them up and fried them for you? It's the same thing as dipping the salsa and chips in a restaurant.
So far, I
You
think we're
got
gonna.
that many.
I think we're gonna thumbs up.
It's really good. It's not spicy at all.
Okay.
It kind of has like a nice creaminess, sweetness, but also a little bit spicy. I think the sweetness is keeping it from being too spicy.
Oh, good.
Is there anything-
Really good.
Are hatch peppers
Add to it?
supposed to
Take
be
away?
spicy, Colby?
Maybe like some salt, maybe, but that's about
Yeah,
it.
it needs salt. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The
Just to
chips
give
have
you like a
salt
little
on them.
more.
A little more.
But honestly, it has a
Let's
good
try
balance.
it.
It's easy to
Send
make.
that over
Oh,
here.
here.
Send that
I'm sorry, guys. I
here.
spilled half of it in the
I don't
kitchen.
Believe it.
Here we go.
Wait, Colby, for those that don't know their hatch peppers, are hatch peppers supposed to be spicy?
They-
or are they just supposed to
They
be
mild and
really-
hot, don't they?
They can be just like any pepper, really, but I don't think so. Like a bell pepper is a pepper, but it's not really hot. It's more
Nah.
sweet.
Right,
Sweet,
right.
yeah.
So
Or
hatch
like in
chilies, I feel
shishito
like are the
peppers,
same
like you
kinda-
get one that burns your mouth like an inferno, and then 4 of them are like amazing.
Right. And jalapenos can be really spicy, and then sometimes they're not. So I don't really know. I think it's just like a.
Yeah, I don't like.
Depends on the
I don't
which
like
one.
the candied jalapenos.
It's got like a little,
Oh, I love those.
a little
I do
backburn.
too. I like the
I'm gonna bring it
jalapenos
over
that come in
here.
like the pickle chips, or like the bread and butter ones. They're like kind of spicy and sweet.
I
like
like
bread
that.
and butter.
Pickles, yes, they're so good. They're so good.
It takes a certain kind of person to
Yes.
like bread and butter pickles.
You can use them in so many different things too. I put them in like deviled eggs or like
Oh, really?
potato salad.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it the
So good.
Antone?
Maybe.
The Antones, the subs, don't they
Chow
have?
chow.
They,
It's
I just
chow chow
can't.
they put in there.
I
You have
cannot
to
with that.
I can't eat them like by themselves, but I think if you put them in a recipe, they're so good. It adds like a sweetness and a tang.
Yeah.
So what do you
I am
guys
not
think?
a
I
pickle
really like it.
connoisseur to
I
know
like
that.
the salsa.
I like
dude.
the salsa too.
It's really
Kevin?
good.
I say it's pretty good. It does need salt. That's about it.
It's a little salt.
Okay.
A little bit of
Great
salt.
flavor.
Or a little
Yeah,
bit
flavor.
of Bayou City
Feel a
garlic
bit.
pepper.
Oh,
yeah. That's a good taste spices.
Your seasoning, by the way, I took some home and cooked with it. It's really good.
I really wanted to bring y'all more, but I literally flew in last night to
no
come.
worries.
Thank you.
Well, now you know where we're at. You can bring it anytime you want.
I mean, I can
Yeah,
always
I
bring
know
some.
where we
I can
are.
always bring some.
Where can we
we
actually
always-
find it, though?
You
Yeah,
can
where can you
find
find your
it
seasonings?
at BayouCitySeasonings.com, or you can go to my website, KolbyCash.com. Yeah, and we're actually doing a dinner tomorrow. Me and the Southcast, we're doing a dinner in Houston, and we're going to season everything with Bayou City Seasoning.
Is it
We have
for-
a few tickets left if
Let's
anybody
say it's
wants
open to
it.
the. If people
How do
buy
you find
tickets.
it? Where is it? Tell us all
You
about
can
it.
get tickets to the dinner. We're calling it the Southern Table VIP Chef Dinner with the Southern Cast of Master Chef. You can find it on my website. You can find it on my Instagram link bio, Chef Kolby Cash. I'll post it again after I leave here.
So what happens now? That do you guys separate and then you take each other on, or is it just South versus the West?
Well, I think I can say this because on the preview last night, Gordon, our master chef, actually posted that they're breaking up the teams tomorrow. So it's no longer South versus Midwest versus
South
West
turning on
versus
the
Northeast.
South.
Yeah, but we still kind of maybe look out for each other.
What are some
You know how
behind
it
the
is.
scenes? What's like a behind the
Maybe look
scenes
out for
trick
each
to
other.
because they want to create conflict. Like, what's something to do that we don't know about that?
I think that they put us all around each other all day long. It's gonna create some conflict. It's gonna create
Wanna
conflict.
try and get
but
on
I will say
Each other's nerves.
Ego.
Exactly.
Ego's
A lot
gonna
of
get
people, and then ego. A lot of people kind of they start thinking they're doing good.
Are
and
any of
then,
them real chefs? I mean, like they have
one of
like have restaurants.
Jennifer from the South, she actually she graduated from culinary school and did pastry culinary school. I don't know the name for it specifically, but she's amazing. She's going to be at the dinner tomorrow. She's going to be taking care of the desserts and
I think Amanda might be
helping us
showing
with
up.
the appetizers and stuff. It's going to be great.
Guys, buy me one more birthday gift. Give me a ticket. Just one more.
Well, I'm telling you, I cannot wait for you to. I want to see a brick and mortar restaurant that you have here in Houston.
I really, we're thinking about some things. I'm thinking we'll start off with a food truck just to keep it simple, and then we'll go from there.
Your food's amazing.
Thank you so
It
much.
really is.
Thanks, Kolby.
It's
for
Chef
joining
Kolby
us.
Kash, y'all. Kolby Kash. You can find him on Instagram. He's got his website. He's got his seasonings. He's on Master Chef. And how many more seasons? I mean, how many more episodes do we have? How much
I don't know
longer
if
is
they
it
keep
gonna go?
doubling them up like this. They're doing 2 episodes tomorrow, so if they keep doubling them up like this, I'm not sure how long we have.
I've been doing 3 weeks.
I can't tell you how long I was there, but you never know.
I'm gonna try and trick you.
Well, it's always nice to have you in studio, Kolby. Thank you so much.
Same,
for
I
coming
love it
in.
here.
Thank you so much.
And good luck at your dinner. Y'all go to his Instagram to find out more at getting some tickets for that awesome dinner. Chef Kolby Kash. Thanks so
Thank you,
much,
guys.
Kolby. Have
Thanks,
a great
buddy.
day, honey.
Thank
Take care.
you.
All right, guys. Coming up next, we're going to go around the table.
Adam Ramsey's
No, it's
no,
right
he-
your secret.
Adam
Oh,
Ramsey's-
Adam Ramsey's
he's
here.
here.
That's
He's
right.
here.
He's here.
I'm
going
not
from
even
chefs
near
to
that
attorneys.
salsa, and I forgot what happened. Yes, ask the
If he
attorney.
makes a
What
bad
happens
meal
when you're...
and I burn
Yes,
myself.
that's what I was going to say, Eric.
Feels like a
what
Sesame
happens
Street.
if Ryan invites you to his house and then everybody gets food poisoning?
Yeah, if I get
Is that covered by your
diarrhea from
homeowner's
Ryan's
insurance?
salsa
Oh
later.
my God. Stop it.
Sam, did you like it? My diarrhea
Good.
salsa?
It was good.
Oh, no, that's a terrible name.
You get revenge on everybody here.
It does look
We're
like
going to talk to
baby poop.
Adam Ramsey.
It really does. It does
You
look like
guys
baby
can-
poop.
Oh my God, we're going
Tastes
off
better
the
though.
rails.
Tastes better.
Listen, here's the number to ask the attorney 713-390-KRBE. You guys call us and we'll ask the attorney next with Adam Ramsey in studio on the Roula and Ryan Show. This is the Texter 104. We've called her back. She has scored now her tickets to go enjoy Galveston. It's galvestonesports.com is where you want to go if you want to get your own tickets to the Galveston Island Esports Summit happening the 25th through the 27th. It's one pass play all day. Tournament registration tickets and scheduling at galvestonesports.com. And now she's a finalist for $10,000.
Pretty sweet.
All right, we're going to switch gears now because our personal injury attorney friend is in studio for Ask the Attorney. Adam Ramsey is here. Hello,
morning, Adam.
Adam.
Good morning. It's always so exciting to be here. So much energy in this room.
Well, you know what?
We
Busy
tried.
morning.
We
They're
tried.
throwing me under the bus. I made them salsa this morning. So here's the first hypothetical. Sam having
Wait, before we get into it, Ryan, I want to get the number out so that people can line up while Adam answers our question at 713-390-KRBE with their own personal injury legal questions. Go ahead.
Okay, so say you're throwing a dinner party and you make everybody a nice meal, but then they all get food poisoning, get violently sick.
oh, jeez.
What happens there? Does your homeowners cover that?
Is my show going to sue me?
So here's the thing for homeowners claims, right? So first of all, good morning to all the listeners out there. So if you are in this hypothetical situation and you have to find negligence when you want to find a homeowner's claim. So as long as if the homeowner knew or should have known that he or she were
Like
serving
when
something
I'm
bad.
cooking and I let the dog lick the spoon in between
There you go.
stirs.
Yeah. Or it's old and it's not good. Then there's some negligence over there. But typically, if you get food poisoning at a friend's house, you probably don't have a claim. Now, if you're hiring a catering company, that's different. Now they come in. Now you've got a third party coming into the house. They should have made sure that the food is safe. And if it isn't, then you probably have a claim. And,
How hard is it to go after a restaurant if you get violently ill after eating at a restaurant?
It's not that hard.
No?
Yeah, it's really not that hard. Yeah, and we do get those calls, and most of them we decline because someone says they got sick, they vomited, and that's it. But we've had like some severe reactions where they were told certain things weren't in the food and they were.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you've got like celiac or something.
disease, yeah, and they confirmed, and the waiter says, "Yeah, I confirmed," but the chef, the whoever's cooking it, the chef still put it in there.
Oh.
And that puts them in a little bit of a pickle there because there's proof. The food's there. They're taking pictures of it. They see
Puts them in a pickle. I like the food
there you
part.
go.
I'm allergic to pickles. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Adam Ramji is here. He's a personal injury attorney at 713-390-KRBE. We're going to try and answer as many questions as we can. We get a lot of questions about car accidents and injury to yourself or someone you love. Anna has a question about documentation when it comes to injury. Hi, Anna. Good morning.
Good morning, Anna.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Anna. What's your question for Adam?
So I got into a car accident. It was a 5-car accident in Vegas. And and so there are so many moving parts, and I find the police report inaccurate.
Inaccurate
What
how?
can I do?
So they documented
because-
it wrong.
Basically, yes. So there were 2 police officers. Only one was actually working, let's just say. And I know this for sure because it was Vegas. It was hot. So I asked to sit in the police car just to stay cool because I was the car that spun. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
And I remember that this car from the other lane, avoiding a collision in front of him, swerved onto my lane and hit my car.
Okay. Yeah,
and the police report
so
is
Anna,
pointing out another car hitting.
Yeah, this kind of stuff happens in every state. I guess this is testament that everything happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas.
Yeah.
So here in these situations, we need witnesses. Often the police report, not often, sometimes the police report is wrong, even here in Texas. And then we will call the officer and they say, oh, I made a mistake. Oops, supposed to be this way. But sometimes they feel they did it right. In those situations, we need witnesses. Here, you've got a 5-car pileup. Probably have enough people that are testifying or giving evidence that the police report is wrong. Once you have enough of that evidence, then someone's got to go to the police station and show that, and then they'll amend the police report. And I've got great friends that are lawyers in Las Vegas that I can definitely hook you up with if that's important to you.
Okay. Yes, please.
Go hang on the line.
Hang on the line. We'll get your information off the air. Anna, you can connect with Adam Ramji. Adam Ramji is here for you to ask your legal questions. A lot of it has to do with car accidents or slip and falls or just how you got hurt somehow. Jennifer is up next. When it comes to having insurance, we always want to know we make sure we have the right kind. Jennifer, what's your question?
I just learned about legal insurance, and your expertise is, it can be costly. So what's the best way to look for insurance? Because there's not like a site that can do comparable results.
Yeah. It's honestly everybody out there's got to really pay attention to this question. What is the best type of auto insurance to carry? Many people say, I'm only going to carry liability because I'm driving an old jalopy or an old car. And that doesn't matter because if you're concerned about your health and the passengers of your car, which are typically your family, you need to carry good insurance. If you get hit by somebody who has insurance or has minimum policy in Texas, remember, is $30,000. Hopefully people carry more than that. But if that person doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance, which means your injuries are so severe that the $30,000 doesn't cover it, you all have to carry what's called underinsured motorist coverage because the person who hit you was underinsured. Now, when you go buy this insurance from the agent, sometimes when you buy insurance in Texas, generally everyone always has underinsured coverage. The reason people don't have it is because the agent says, hey, do you want your premiums to be less? Sign this document. And that document you're signing is a release saying I reject my legal right to carry underinsured motorist coverage.
Why would you do that?
I hate to
Because all you think about is the premium.
Was mostly about legal insurance.
Yeah,
not car insurance.
Well, you're talking about legal insurance. Yeah, there's some types of legal insurance out there.
What's the difference? Sorry, Adam, you have to explain.
Sure.
What's
Let me
legal
explain it,
insurance?
Yeah, so just finishing that one up there for everybody else out there, make sure you carry uninsured, underinsured, and personal injury protection because you can never trust the other person is going to have enough insurance if they cause damage to you or your family if they wreck you. Now, going back to legal insurance, just like there's health insurance, there are some companies out there that offer some type of legal insurance, and it's typically $15-20 a month. And when you have that coverage, then you have access to lawyers for free consultations. And so we get solicited for offering that kind of stuff, but because we do contingency work, we never charge clients, so we're never in that situation. So there are companies out there, but you have to really read the contract properly and make sure that you can be covered. So I don't think that if you have a huge business dispute, they're going to cover everything on that.
So it's like having an attorney on a retainer, a light retainer.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. Yeah, like a light retainer. Yes, yeah. Get free consultations.
Okay,
interesting.
Since we're talking about car accidents, let's leave it on the theme of that real quick because there's another scenario that could come up if you are involved in a car accident. Tammy, what's your question for Adam Ramji on Ask the Attorney? Welcome.
Okay, hi. So I
couple of days ago, I got in for a collision. So I was in the middle of the car. The car behind me, it was a traffic, so she pushed me, and I pushed in the front of the car. So it was like 100 degrees on the I-10 freeway. So, and I was like, okay, come on, exchange insurance, and then exchange driver license. The guy behind me who hit me said, okay, well, I don't have my driver license. I text you when I got home. Oh. He did exchange me for the insurance, okay? So yesterday, I called his insurance and said that, he didn't make he only made one payment of insurance.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So no insurance, no license.
And he
no
took off.
license, no insurance.
Yeah.
Is she out of luck?
Well, that's a good question. Going back to my first thing, if she can, so here's the scenario: the guy hits her, doesn't have insurance. The fact that he has no driver's license, get this, is irrelevant. You can still have insurance.
Really?
Yeah, the insurance will still cover you. So if you give the card,
you don't have to show proof of driver's license to get drive.
Hey, they'll take your money.
It doesn't mean that. Like, for example, if you give your 15-year-old kid the car to drive and they cause an accident, the car's covered. You know, the insurance follows the vehicle, not the person. Always remember the insurance follows the vehicle. So if you're driving someone else's car, there's actually two insurances. The person owns the car and yours, so you can stack them. So if it's a $30,000 policy.
Yeah, and how does that work? If say you got a friend, hey, can I borrow your car for a second?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, so we'll talk about that. So going back here, Tammy over here real quickly. Tammy, going back to what I said earlier, if you carry, and hopefully you do, it's called uninsured motorist coverage because the person who hit you is uninsured. Then and only then can you get some kind of coverage from this. So the fact that this guy didn't have a license, does have insurance, puts you in a little bit of a bind, but hopefully you have enough coverage through your own insurance. Now, back to your question here, Ryan. If you lend someone your car, they're covered. They're covered under your insurance. Remember, people say, you know, hey, you want to borrow my car? You got insurance, right? But guess what? Insurance follows the vehicle. So if you give your car to your buddy causes an accident, they're going to go after the owner of the car insurance first. When that's exhausted, then you go after
because
the driver.
I've heard people say, I can't let you drive my car. You know, it's like I only have myself covered on it.
No, that's not true.
That's just BS.
Okay,
that's
so
not,
the policy follows the car, not the person.
The exception would be if you're living together.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
okay. The other thing I want to throw out there too, out of that you said many times on our show, is don't feel bad to quote sue your friend. You're not suing your friend. You're suing their insurance company. We'll talk more about that.
Yes.
On the other side, we're doing Ask the Attorney with Adam Ramji. We'll be right back on the Roula and Ryan Show.
I always enjoy this segment. Ask the Attorney. Adam Ramji live in studio. Adam, if somebody needs to reach out to you with a legal question, what's your phone number?
We got a super easy number. It's 713-all-8s, 713-888-888, and we just also got a new national number. So those of you in any part of the country, 855 Law Firm. Again, 855 Law Firm.
Yeah, very nice to know. Okay, so personal injury is the specialty here, and a lot of people get injured in different ways. Marcy is up next at 713-390-KRBE. That is the number you call to stand by with a question for Adam Ramji. Hi, Marcy.
I'm sorry. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Marcy, you're on the air right now, okay?
Good to
Marcy,
what's going on with you, Marcy?
What's your question?
Well, this is my question. It may be too much, but I had a daughter who had epilepsy. She had a device a year ago. We were told, of course, you never know. The brain is iffy. We were told may not make a huge difference, but it would never make it worse. Well, it's made her seizures worse.
So she had a surgery, because your phone's kind of spotty right now. You're saying she had a surgery?
She had a surgery. She had a device implanted in her brain that was supposed to reduce the seizures, obviously. And anyway, they were twice as bad at the conclusion of all that.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So now she's had this surgery, Adam, and it's actually worse. She said it's twice as worse as it was before.
Sure.
Yes. So we had to turn the device off because whatever the stimulation it was doing was actually
worse.
I think turned it off.
Gosh, that sounds terrible.
We are now going to have the surgery redone by another doctor.
Revision surgery. So Marcy, good morning. I'm so sorry you're going through this. And these kind of situations come up often. And in medical malpractice cases, there's so many legal documents that are signed, and one of them, which you probably signed, was that this may make the surgery may make her epilepsy worse, better, or have no change. And so those documents that have to be reviewed. In this case, there's a very high likelihood that they told you it's going to be worse. and you probably don't have a claim on that. So, and also with House Bill 4, when it came out many years ago, it capped the damages on punishment damages.
The tort reform?
Yeah, tort reform. It really killed a lot of the medical malpractice cases. So a lot of people are not getting the justice they need because doctors are paying too much premiums for their insurance, but the premium never went down. Anyway, that's a different story. So, Marcy, I'm so sorry, but if you want to discuss it further, please give us a call, 713-888-8888. I'd like to maybe go through with it, maybe review the medical records and give you a better, solid answer.
What are your repercussions? I mean, what possibility, like if you know your loved one needs a surgery and they put all these clauses in it that only a lawyer could read, you're kind of screwed. I mean, if you don't agree to sign it, then they won't do the surgery.
Right? Yeah, they've got a COI. They've got to cover their butts on that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's a real thing, and it happens. And people will sometimes still sign it and say whatever. Just Godspeed, get it done.
Let's
right?
see. Marcy, thank you so much for sharing your story. And again, if you're just tuning in, we're doing Ask the Attorney with Adam Ramji. It's 713-ALL-8s, or it's 1-855-LAW-FIRM if you're outside the Houston area. We're going to go to Kim on the line because it's one of these scary scenarios you hope to God doesn't happen to you.
It's very timely.
It does happen. And who do you go after for this? Kim, tell everyone what the situation is. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hi, everybody. Thanks for taking my call. So I have this question because I just maybe when you guys had this segment, I was like, oh, perfect. Let me just ask now while, it was fresh. So my daughter, so I'm a new grandmom, and my daughter just has her baby, and then they live in an apartment complex kind of nearby, and they were trapped in the elevator, them, and then there was another, there's more people in the elevator with them. Mm-hmm. But everything
of the
stopped.
apartment building, the elevator of the apartment building. Okay.
Of where they live. Yes. So they're all trapped inside. None of the buttons are working. They couldn't hit the emergency release, and everyone in the elevators had no service in the elevator except my daughter had barely a bar.
It's hard to get a phone call out of an elevator.
Yeah. How long were they in there for?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to check the time, but they had to stay there until the fire department came.
Okay.
So she had to call 911.
Yeah, so
she couldn't. I was like, surely there's maintenance, in-house maintenance or something, but they couldn't even get to that because none of the buttons are working. Mm-hmm. And it's 100 degrees outside, and the baby's new baby, and I'm this brand new grandma. I'm freaking out.
Sure, that's a traumatic event. Kim, I'm so sorry to hear that you guys went through that. So this falls under what's called false imprisonment, right? So if somebody's trapped in a place where they didn't think would be trapped in, then it goes back to, did the company that managed the elevator know or should have known that the elevator was going to be out of service, or did they do their regular annual checkups on it and maintenance on it? And if they didn't, then there's a possibility that there's a claim there. So now the question I asked earlier is how long would an elevator for? That's going to determine how much money, if any, would they pay. Now, if they were trapped in there for 4 or 5 minutes, then typically they wouldn't get anything. But if you're in there for a long period of time and it was traumatic and you feel like it was something very, very scary, then there's possibly a claim as long as we're able to find some negligence. And I think that you probably would have a claim. So I'd love to discuss this further with you.
But if there's no harm to anybody, it's a little bit more difficult.
100-degree elevator, there's harm.
Well, yeah. So both those questions over there. If you're just falsely imprisoned, you can typically collect something.
Okay.
Even if there's no harm. Just the fact that there was false imprisonment. So give us a call at our office, 713-ALL-8s, and we can help you.
It is frustrating. That happened one morning. I had to do the show for the first 90 minutes. I had to do the show from the elevator. I got stuck in here, and the fire department could not get me out. They basically.
What do we learn from that? You have to wait for that guy
that
that has the key to do it.
Yeah, the building manager.
Oh man!
And elevators aren't like in Die Hard. There's no trap door on the top.
No, there's you can pop out. Everything happens to Ryan.
I like to think I have good luck though, because I always survive it.
You always survive it, yeah.
So if you guys want to get in touch with Adam Ramji on your own, you can always call him at 713-ALL-8s, and then you can find him nationally 1-855-LAW-FIRM.
Yes.
And thank you so much again for all your information. A lot of the questions usually have to do with car accidents. I know that. Would you say that's your specialty, Adam, or just it's injury in general? But
injury in general, yeah. We just get there's more car accidents, so we do get a lot of those, a lot of 18-wheeler wrecks and all that. I do want to correct something that I said earlier. When you said, Ryan, on the policy, if you're a named driver on the policy and then it specifically says no one else can drive, that's when the buddy says, listen, I'm the only person driver. So it's rare to come across that. So I want to make sure I correct myself on that. But generally speaking, if you have a regular policy, someone else can drive your car and they're going to be covered through your insurance.
One more thing before we go,
Sure.
because I mentioned this before the break. If you are in the car with your friend and y'all get injured, yes, you want to get some money because of your injuries, but people feel bad because they want to sue their friend. Can you please explain what that means? You're not suing your friend.
Yes.
That insurance company owes you something.
Yeah, so that happened. And if you're a driver, and you cause an accident, you want to make sure your friend's taken care of. So in those cases, so legally, you are when you draft the documents, if you're going to get to a lawsuit, which not always happens, your friend is named on the lawsuit. So legally, they're sued, but that's not who you're going after. You're going after the insurance. You're not going after your friend on that, and that's why we've had.
But then your
insurance.
friend would say, "But then my premium's going to go up if you sue my insurance."
Yeah.
Well, is that true or is that false?
That's a possibility. So whenever you ask an insurance company, the premium's going to go up, they always say, "Well, it depends on how many wrecks I've had, and if it's not your fault, if you make a claim on your uninsured, underinsured, or your PIP, then your premiums won't increase." So we say, put it in writing, but insurance companies will never put it in writing.
Right.
So,
and I think that a lot of people will, it depends on your age and how experienced you are and how hurt you are, because the last thing you want is to not go after the insurance because you feel bad for your friend. And then you really suffer for a long time.
Yeah. And
a long time.
Yeah. If you hurt someone, do the right thing. Give them your insurance. Let them take care of it.
Y'all get with Adam Ramji, 713-all-8. Thanks so much for coming by the Roula and Ryan Show once again for Ask the Attorney, Adam.
Thank you for having me on air.
Thanks,
Of
Adam.
course.
Always here for you guys and your listeners. Thanks, guys.
Always an education.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Roula and Ryan Show on KRBE with what's going down in H-Town.
It is brought to you by Duncan. Now, Kevin, I know you like to fly Southwest from time to time.
It's my favorite airline these days because I have a buddy pass and Booster can fly for free.
Well, now Southwest is cutting back on a feature that gives passengers the chance to be the first aboard. They're now limiting the number of early bird check-in spots available for purchase on certain flights, routes, or days.
Good.
The new initiative has been in effect for almost a week now, and that means millions of Southwest flyers might not be able to buy early bird check-in at any given time.
Oh, good, because I'm going to beat them to the punch. As soon as it turns 8:51, boop, check-in, be the first one. Oh, I'm group 8:59.
It doesn't happen.
A group. Take that, pay ahead. Sam tried to pull that ish on our last trip.
Oh,
and
really?
I still got in front of you.
You did get in
both
front
times.
of me.
So in your face.
Hey,
all right. Go Needville. They're advancing in the Little League World Series. They won again. They beat El Segundo 3-1. Now they take on Seattle on Wednesday at 2 p.m. on ESPN. So go Needville. Represent.
And go Stros. We beat the Red Sox last night, baby.
Chaz
Let's
McCormick
get
homered
back in that
twice,
game.
4 RBIs. The Stros won 9-4 of the Boston Red Sox. And multiple Houston area school districts are saying that they cannot staff all their campuses with armed district police officers. Texas lawmakers had passed House Bill 3, which goes into effect on September 1st. It mandates that basically you've got to have a police officer at every school during school hours. And they're saying in HISD, it's like, hey, this isn't happening right now. So there's a lot of controversy right now with the state taking over. It's not been exactly smooth sailing. And U.S. regulators approved the first RSV vaccine for pregnant women so their babies can be born with protection against that scary respiratory infection. Roula, you dealt with this firsthand.
When my second daughter was 7 weeks old, I had no idea what was going on with her, and we get her to the hospital, and they were like, we have to admit her. She has RSV. I'd never even heard of that. I remember talking about it on the show. Nobody knew what that was. They thought it's some thing that was a fluke thing that only my baby got. It's terrifying. It's dangerous. People, there's a reason your baby needs to stay home with you for the first very precious weeks of life, because there are so many germs out there. You do not want to jeopardize your child's life. And this RSV vaccine, I hope, can change a lot of people's, lives, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
they say
help save them.
it'll protect them from birth up to 6 months of age. So this is a good thing. And
That's great.
We'll keep you posted when that's going to be on the market. That's what's going down in H-Town.
All right, coming up next, did you miss what happened on Revenge today? Oh, my God. It has to do with these temperatures and a bad dog owner. You're going to hear it on 104.1 KRBE.